Hi, it's Louise at Spiral Bright Insight. Just a very quick update about the energies that are happening today. And I know for many, it feels very intense, certainly at a physical level as well as an emotional level. We are dealing with the aftermath of the full moon in Scorpio. And obviously, we had the big Jupiter Uranus conjunction in Taurus at the weekend, which again, some might say nothing really happened, and all these astrologers and psychics and, seers were sort of predicting something big to happen. But, when outer planets like Jupiter and Uranus shift, we don't necessarily see the ramifications from that shift immediately. We can feel the energy, though, we can sense the energy. And it feels like that is what is really coming to the surface. These two planets meeting in Taurus have really created um, kind of like a shock wave through the earth energetically. And the moon in Scorpio has required us to delve deep into where that gap was created to see what was hidden beneath. Very emotional sort of themes, our sort of darker aspects, the darker parts, the recesses, the abyss that wasn't necessarily accessible or visible before is now coming up. And even if you are not sensitive or not aware of what's going on, I think you're going to feel it. And I can see that certainly from my own perspective, seeing what's going on in the wider world, locally to me. There is a real sort of unsettled feeling around. Now, Mercury is in retrograde for one more day. It's going to station direct tomorrow. And, we are in the last sort of moments of Mercury being retrograde in Aries coming within. So there's a real sense of, Mercury has got to really make the most of this last opportunity to connect with the deeper sense of self, with the understanding of self before he stations direct and starts to move forward with a much stronger sense of sovereignty and individuality and independence. But Mercury in retrograde is meeting with the North Node today in Aries. So again, it's like this kind of last opportunity for this current cycle to really get any sort of remaining details or information or narrative stories, understandings, mindsets that are necessary to help us grow and move forward and evolve. So it's as if to say, Mercury saying, is there anything else that I need to be shown or need to understand? Any stories that I've been telling myself or that I've been connected with, or even that I have been sort of programmed to believe? Is there anything else that I need to know before I change direction and the energy shifts again? So, this is a really quite profound time, and it's an opportunity to go within and to really find that stillness, because often it's when we quieten the mind that the information can come through, that our higher self can step forward, and that we can really start to gain a much bigger understanding. Now, we've also got so Mercury, when it stations direct, is going to meet with the fixed star Tau Ceti again. I spoke about this fairly recently because Tau Ceti was very active at the recent eclipses that we've had. But, this is very much about connecting with our subconscious, connecting with what is hidden. Tau Ceti being Cetus, the whale constellation, very linked to the oceans, to emotional depth, to transformation, and to working with dark and light, and understanding that we sometimes have to face and work through the dark in order to reach the light, because they are both parts of the same one source, the same oneness. And we also have Sedna, who is going to move back into Gemini on Saturday. So I'm going to do a separate video about this because it is important. It's triggering a fixed star or a number of fixed stars in the galactic chart. It's a big deal. It's a big shift. It's a big event for, yet another one in April. But we're basically getting ready to start having more independence of thought and start creating our own narratives and our own stories that are more aligned with our own truth. And as we do that, as Mercury stations direct tomorrow, and we start to work more on that, we may find that as we're working on our inner world, that the outer world starts to fall in line and reflect that. So again, it's another opportunity for change, but it's just an acknowledgement as well that, you know, if you're finding that you're having to go deep, that there's a lot of stuff coming up sort of mentally, maybe memories or stories or narratives that you've sort of had locked away, you know, this is the time when they are likely to be breaking free, because, you know, the strong Taurus energy and Uranus in Taurus, which has kept things very fixed and held in for your safety, for your comfort, to keep you in the comfort zone, to keep you secure, to keep you stable. But actually, Uranus is really rattling that and shaking it up and creating an environment where things can come to the surface and where they need to come to the surface to be reviewed, to be accepted, to be embraced, to be processed, and ultimately to be released, you know, if that is what is for your highest good. So, you know, bear with it. It is a transit, it's a shift, there's a lot happening. It's very trying on our nervous system at the moment, which I think again I've brought up in other videos lately. You know, people's nerves are being fried, people are being rattled, there seems to be a lot of very strong emotion around, you know, things are happening very quickly. So wherever possible, remember, you know, the tools that you have, your long, deep breathing, your grounding, coming back to the present moment. So come back to what it is that you know will bring you back to the present moment and help to keep you stable and calm, because ultimately that is what is required at this time. So hope you found that useful. Feel free to share if you're feeling similar experiences. I'm sure I'm not the only one. And yeah, keep a watch out, because I will be recording my video about Sedna in Gemini very soon. Thanks for watching.